I need my headset. Where was I? Yeah.
Okay, good, yeah. I was looking at the webcam and it's like, oh Jesus Christ, I'm so pale there, but thankfully this cam is picking up my fine jaundiced hue, my skeleton arms. Okay. Okay, that's opening up. I have... Let me adjust that window for myself. Hey. Pistachio, stop it. Stop provoking my dog. Damn it. And Sally, stop fucking trying to eat the cat, I swear to God. Hey. Huh? You try to bother the cat, I'm gonna put you outside, okay, dog? Swear to God. You on? In the meantime, let me... Cat! Come on. Okay, yeah, get out of here. Dog. You have so many toys and chewies, why can't you play with all of your toys and chewies, huh? Do you need more water? Say like... Go ahead, get all your toys. Go play with all your toys. Rip them up. Good dog. Okay. I look like I'm fucking stoned. Okay, at least I can see all my stuff though. It's too bright. To look at... Maybe I could go eat my guavas. I have a bunch of stuff here to eat though, so not right now. But, I still have the guarana open. Does it scare me? And my fingernails kind of look like guarana fruits today. Guava fruit. There's like pink guavas and yellow guavas. What is on the screen? Those are oily. Okay, I could go with the green and pink theme. It's very cute. So like green on the outside and then pink on the inside, so I could do like green. Ugh. Guava's considered a superfruit? Don't let the health freaks know about that. I don't want to see guava prices go up. Well, the canned guava sold out of the store. It's already kind of hard to find. Okay, I think I'm gonna go green, pink, and yellow. Eesh. I have a bit of a migraine, but I want to work on this, so. Random colors. They all okay. That's all together. Hold that down for me. Thank you. Let me get eraser pen. This. And get this. These down here. Do you have enough food, baby? Do you need more? Oh, you horrible mutt. Oh, hot. Oh, that's good. I made like some slightly overcooked rice and some kind of bone broth. I can't remember what it is. It's either turkey or pork. I think I got the pork broth. Has some broccoli and carrots on that. Yeah, I need like the lightest green. And kind of have little like, what's it look like on the outside? Okay, it's like yellowish green. It's a little bit bumpy. How to eat guava. I've only ever had canned guava and guava candy, so like, I don't know. I'll barely be able to see chat. There we go. Oh, hello, Mugen. Yeah, this is part of that series I was working on yesterday. I can't remember if you stopped in or not, but let me know if you'd like to see the other merms. Sometimes I go back through them to make sure I'm not repeating the exact same colors, because they're all based on fruits. And fruit colors are kind of a little bit limited. You got like green, pink, red, purple, occasionally a blue, but that's pretty much with like blueberries and stuff. So I try not to use the exact same colors over and over again. This one's a guava. Guavas are like a really pretty light greenish, yellowish greenish, and pink. And sometimes they're yellow on the inside, unless it just happens when they're canned. I have a migraine, so I'm kind of rambly today. Just laying down a sort of base color to build up on. Yeah, it's showing up. Oh yeah, I love green is such a good color. I like all different types of green. Making sure my dog's not gonna bother the cat. Saley, what? Don't lick the furniture. What are you doing? Look at all these toys you have, you stupid dog. Chew on your toys. Horrible creature. I think my dog's not getting enough, like, stimulation. Like, she needs more, like, enrichment. I didn't even want the damn dog because I know that I'm not healthy enough to take care of it. Dad doesn't take care of it enough. So the poor dog has me. Hey, what are you doing? Sally, do you want to go outside if you're gonna go bother the cat? Hey. It's not that cold outside. You could go out and chase all the birds, huh? Okay, you keep causing problems, I'm gonna put you outside, you little mutt. I give this dog so many toys and treats, and I try to give her all the belly rubs. I play tug of war as often as I can, without straining some kind of muscle. And it is not enough. She is a very high energy dog. Hey, Saley. I'm gonna put her outside. She's causing trouble. Look at me all sad, like, oh no, why are you locking me out? Like, dog, I have a migraine, I'm trying to draw. She'll find some trouble to get up to. Yeah, like, I have a cat who I need to take to the vet at some point. I think I should have enough money this month, but I also have to help the tenant with something because he's a very fussy tenant, and I also have to pay for the irrigation service for the year, and I had to replace my tablet, going through some real stupid nonsense with that. I'm hoping I'll be able to get my cat taken care of. Thankfully the dog hasn't gotten sick yet, but I still have to put a lot of energy into trying to take care of the dog, but I just don't have... Like, I'm glad she's a rescue dog and all that, but you should really only take on pets when you're sure that you can take care of them, you know? The only reason I haven't rehomed my poor cat is because I'm the only person in the world she sort of trusts. And I feel really, really bad about it, so I have to do my best for Pistachio. And if I could get Saley a better home, like where she could have another dog friend to play with, and we have a big yard, so it's not like she doesn't have anywhere to run around, and someone who could give her walks all the time and all that stuff, I would totally get a rehomed, but unfortunately she's technically my dad's dog, even though I'm the one who takes care of her. Yeah. If feel so bad about all the hamsters I had in the past because I didn't know about proper rodent care. And I was just a little kid, and it's like, oh, hamsters are just a thing you get, kids. And then I learned later on, like, the professional pet care side of, like, Tumblr and stuff that technically hamsters need, like, at least 3 inches of bedding to fluff around in. They need a huge enclosure. Way more than I had for them. And there are certain things that you just shouldn't give them because they have, like, bad materials in them, and bro, the pet trade just really thrives on, like, not teaching people about things and going, oh, you want a pet? Okay, we'll make it as affordable for you as possible. It'll be bad for the pet, but we won't tell you that. We'll put it in fun colors. Sometimes I just get real salty about stuff. Is that like... Okay, I guess that's showing up okay. Maybe I should... Can I zoom in more? Ah. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not used to using cameras. I'm an old grandma. Is it focused? Yeah, that's focused. There we go. Oh. Damn it. It's okay, I can sweep that up. I just dropped a small plate that had a cookie on it, so there are crumbs everywhere. Fantastic day for me. Oh, some more complaining. I tried to use the new Bamboo Ink Plus on my laptop. It cost quite a bit. It's like $100, plus shipping. I think I got it for a free or discounted shipping, but still. And I got that one because the cheaper one didn't work on my laptop, so I thought, okay, maybe the new, more upgraded one will work, because my friend Anna Lilith, who, she keeps saying she's gonna art stream, but she doesn't, and I keep wanting to watch her, but she doesn't. Handkerchief. She has one, and it works really well with her laptop that is in the same, like, series of laptops as mine. However, it did not work with mine no matter what I tried over the course of, like, 2 days of trying to get the bastard to work. So I had to return that one too and just order a regular pen tablet. So I gotta wait for that to come in. I can't do any digital art until then unless it's pixel work, but the digital art I want to do requires me to have a pen tablet. Yeah. At least I'll get this series done, I hope. They're kind of bumpy, so I gotta... Oh, my dad let the dog back in, okay. There you go, play with Victoria Horrible Creature. Yeah, like, I even called, Wacom support, which, like, on their website, they'll have, like, oh, we're experiencing a high volume of calls, call back at 2 p.m., and then at 2 p.m. they'll be like, oh, we're experiencing just so many calls, you should call back at, 4 p.m., when the call center is less worked up, and then it'll be like, you should call again at 6 p.m., and then they'll be closed, and be like, oh, you should call tomorrow. Yeah. So I just called during the time they said they were super busy, and I got someone right away, so it was like, okay, Wacom, you know you have problems, you just don't want to admit it. And, like, the guy I was talking to is basically like, if it's not working, it's probably just compatibility because we haven't tested all the laptops, so we don't know if it works with yours. Sorry. And I was like, you know what? That's understandable. You're just a staff member. Not surprised they don't tell the staff members anything either. It's like, Wacom makes some of the nicest materials for that kind of thing. They make like the Cintiq and some really nice, fancy, high-class tablets. However, compatibility and things like driver updates and just driver updates that completely mess up the functionality of the tablet are like, it's a big problem with them. And also just having like really iffy support. So that's why I don't trust Wacom, even though they're some of the best. Going back to Veeq. My Veeq tablet worked until I messed up the cord. If they can trust them, Yeah, it's like the guy who's trying to help me out probably just plain doesn't know. He's just not part of the team that tests things, and he has to field calls like people from me who are like, I was wondering if I'm doing something wrong. Like, I tried doing all sorts of stuff. Like, I tried downloading their latest driver, because, you know, sometimes it's just driver issues, but according to the guy on the phone, he doesn't even need a driver. It's supposed to just work. And it connected to Bluetooth, but the pen's Bluetooth button, like to open up Windows Ink automatically, didn't work. So it wasn't like it connected to Bluetooth, but it wasn't doing anything via Bluetooth, and also wasn't working as a pen despite my laptop being on the list of compatibility devices that should have been. Anyway, Wacom is useless. Don't trust them. It's like a real bright, vibrant pink. And getting mad at the poor tech support really doesn't do anything. They're just doing their jobs, trying the best they can, hoping they don't get shouted at. Let's do some stretches every now and then. And stay hydrated and all of that. I love this song. I tried to fix my poor little Veeq tablet that the cord got messed up in, but I'm really bad at soldering, so I didn't really do anything. I think I might have messed it up. I'm sure if I could get like a thinner soldering iron, or one that heats up better at the points, then I might be able to make it work. My references. Okay. It's like a bright ass, beautiful pink, the kind of pink you just want to chomp into. The guavas are so pretty and so tasty. Yeah. It'd be nice to have a little backup in case anything happens with the new tablet in the future. I could have a little one as a standby while waiting for the next one to ship. Like, I'm not super good at fixing electronics, but I fixed my own 3DSs a few times until they became unfixable by me. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of orange in there and brighten it up. I fixed my DDR mat when my dog chewed through the goddamn cord and I had to slice open the cord and twist the wires back together and cover it in electrical tape. It looks super shoddy, but it works. It works fine. But this situation involves soldering, which I'm not good at because the little beads of solder that my soldering iron doesn't get very hot at the point that I have. So like you put like a little needle into the soldering iron. And it's supposed to like heat up the point. It has different, like you can get different tips for it and stuff. I guess I need to get a better tip because it never heats up right at the point, which is where I need it to. So I end up having to use like this side and stuff, which is really not precise. I could ramble about this nonsense all day, but yeah. Yeah. It definitely works. I accidentally, like, I panic ordered another DDR mat. It's just a floppy mat, so it's not one of the really fancy, like, metal ones. Because I can't afford one of those right now. I'd like to. But, like, I was like, wait, while that's coming in, maybe I can try to fiddle with the old one, because if it's truly broken, then at least I have nothing to lose. But I was able to fix it pretty easily, so now I just have a spare mat, just in case I ever need it, which is real nice. Because they're kind of getting harder to find, the DDR mats. They're only made by a few specific companies. And it's a little bit easier to find the floppy mats. However, I don't think they're being properly produced by who would produce them? I don't know, but like the ones that are made for like the Xbox 360 that you can get to work with Stepmania. I don't think they're being produced anymore, but there are still some people who have them and sell them on eBay to people like me. And there are a few companies that make really nice home DDR mats that are like a couple $100 each. I'd really like to get one. So like it's kind of like a dying market, I guess. I need to keep hold of the ones that I have as long as possible. I only had to get rid of the first one I had because I used it so hard that like I was wearing holes in it. Kinda, yeah, like, that's a pretty good comparison, because, like, yeah, finding, like, the Guitar Hero stuff and the Rock Band stuff is, like, it's kind of limited. There are definitely people who still play it and still have a lot of fun with it. But like, if the actual company isn't producing it anymore, then it's mostly just like some people who stocked up on it and are reselling it on eBay, possibly at a marked up price, or you know, it's the only place you can get them. And if there is a company that makes them specifically, then they're probably trying to skirt around copyright and stuff like that. But you know, there is a demand for it, and if the actual company is not going to make the product anymore, then like, even if there wasn't a Plagon, I don't want to have to go to pay at the round one we have here to use their DDR machines. And with Stepmania, which is like a fan-made DDR system, sorta, you don't have to like you can download as many songs as you want because all the tracks are user-made, so you're not limited, and you sort of never get tired of songs because you can just make your own or wait for other people to come out with new track packs. When the company fails, the fans will keep it going by any fucking means necessary. What are you complaining about, dog? I don't give you enough attention. Oh, my screen filter go back on. I got confused about that on my screen real fast. It's my freaking pencil. I was like, what kind of menu popped up?
It's not the same to watch the days move forward. I can't explain the things I'm feeling for her. Let me see. Let me see. Take the things I held on to in hopes that you could see the thoughts of you that fill my heart and burns inside of me. Let me see. Let me see.
guava. Let's move on to coconut. I have a general idea what coconuts look like, but I'll look up the coloration of the crab. Coconut crab. Coconut crabs kind of scare me. Oh, thank you. I think this might be... because coconut, I get to use brown for once. I've done a lot of these. I started like at least a year ago, and then I fucking... no, god damn it. Draw my pen then. Started like a year ago, and I, at least a year, last May for Mermay, and it's like 31 days of drawing mermaids, so I decided to go with a fun prompt I saw, which is fruit-based mermaids. So I've been doing a fruit for all those days, and I've been trying to not just draw a mermaid every day, like, you know, the classic mermaid. Like, this one is squid eggs. That's a, I try to make her sort of draconic. Citrus slices are great for fins. That's a sunfish, squid eggs, booty, another sunfish, panda Buddha octopus, eel. I'm trying to get like more than just mermaids. This one is coral because I couldn't figure out what the hell to do with pomegranate besides scales. Got a siphonophore, and a hermit crab. I have 2 hermit crabs. A sea dragon for fig because of their yes, I try to also vary the body types because it's just plain boring drawing the same type of thing all the time. Also, I think cantaloupes kind of look like big round titties. Sometimes you have sort of lewd concepts and you gotta make them look tasteful. I have a bunch of jellyfish, an oyster, because passion fruit just look like they're full of little things. Oh, thank you. Monster nails. They're very easy to do. You just put down a base coat, and you draw like a little football of white, and then put like a black dot for the eye, and it looks like you have eyeballs growing out of your fingernails. And it's one of my favorite patterns. This one's a Yeti crab because I did kiwi, and then I realized I could have made it a Yeti crab, big hairy, big arms waifu. And guarana, because I wanted to draw that octopus I love so much. Yeah, I forgot about this for a long time, so I'm trying to finish up these last ones, hopefully in time for next mermaid. Now I gotta work on coconut crab. Yeah, I haven't worked on ones with a lot of brown, so finally I get to work with brown. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to, like... because, like, It's definitely good to be body positive and all that, but also it's so boring to see the same exact types of body types all of the time, the same ideas of beauty and all that. Like, thick ladies can be hot too, and thick, non-binary, feminine adjacent type people. Like, I have some characters in here that don't even have titties. So you could vary it up. All kinds of merms. More diversity in merms. Okay, apparently there's like different. Is that a different? Okay, that's one of the famous pictures of a coconut crab climbing on a trash can. It kind of scares me. Yeah, the giant Vanuatu coconut crabs. All coconut crabs are giant. What's it talking about? Yeah. That you know, the tits and ass spine breaking poses you often see in like comics and video games and stuff, and it's boring. Like, it's not even a problem with like body positivity entirely. Like, it's definitely a very big problem with that, but that's like the old problem. The new problem is that it's boring. Stop being cowards, video game and comics designers. Get some thick bitches in your stuff. Get some thick ladies with body to them. Get some buff ladies. Steven Universe it up all in here. Yeah, Oda, the guy what does the One Piece, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Just like it starts out not too bad, you know. It's like a little shoop with. It's like a stick figure with a little bit of extra. Got the big old titties, then shoop, bit of a hips, and then long ass legs. But then, like, I've seen character designs from some of the other female characters, and it goes even bigger, longer. Yeah. Like, his male characters definitely have more varied body types. And they're all definitely really stylized. I think Zoro is the most, like, one of the most realistic ones that I've seen so far. And some of, like, the background characters, and everyone else is kind of lanky and weird or has big ol' arms or something. And then all the ladies are just, like, Nami is such a cool character, but occasionally I'm just looking at her like, oh no, oh no, I'm sure I'll get to whatever Zoro you're talking about at some point, but I already fear what may happen. Oh, poor Zoro. It was good to know you. Okay, why did I pick this reference of the coconut crab of all things? It's the one where it's a big, really pretty coconut crab, and it's on a trash can to sort of show you the scale of the thing. There's that one character who I'm sure I have a long way to go to him. I'm just gonna lay down like a base. I should use the other brown for a base, the sort of reddish brown. Or should I use the tan? No, okay, I'll use this on the body and I'll use the tan for the other one. There's like one character who has tiny, skinny, bitty little legs and a massive torso and huge ass arms with like roided up Popeye forearms, and he has like a blue mohawk or something, or like a pompadour. I don't know. I've seen that guy. He looks hilarious, but every time I see him, I'm like, what in the goddamn... What? He definitely has a distinctive silhouette. Like, it's a recognizable silhouette, which is something that really helps in character design. But also it's the kind of silhouette you go at it and you're like, Tank from Left 4 Dead? Oh, great. Yeah, I don't know, probably Frankie, I don't know, blue hair, weird kind of nose or something like that, massive forearms, tiny little legs. I'm assuming he gets worse, and I've seen pictures, I don't know what the fuck, of like a really weird Luffy with like, literally like a barrel-chested figure. It's just like a barrel of muscles, and then like his arms and legs sticking out and his weird little head. I don't like to look at those images. I do not look forward to getting there whenever I get there. They make me uncomfortable. Okay, yeah, so the tops of the, okay, so like, okay, so okay. Okay, so she got like reddish around the... When I see something with complicated design or complicated colors, I have to try to break it down in my head. I always get really confused. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I look forward to the absolutely wackadoodle fucking One Piece characters. And by look forward to, I mean fear and dread. But like in an optimistic way. Okay, this one's gonna be a bit lighter because the claws are like a light sort of yellowish tan, and then it kinda sort of fades off that from the body color. Face would be more like red. Just stack on some more muscles on muscles. You know what these pirates need? Muscles. Do they make sense anatomically? Fuck you. How dare you question me? I can get this sort of reddish tan in here. Yeah, this sort of orangey color. I gotta slowly build these colors up because I don't know what I'm doing. Who needs legs? Legs are overrated. In One Piece world, the legs are stupid. How dare you have leg? The only thing legs are good for is making your arms be higher so you can punch better. Okay, on the sides it gets straight up pitch black, and then it's sort of like the reddish in the middle. This is what the reference that I am looking at. No, fucking no. God, go back. Go. Ruins it. No, I don't want fucking multi-window mode. What the hell is that? No, go away. Go. How do I get out of multi-window mode? Oh my god, I feel like old grandma. Yeah, go away. God. Okay. Where did my reference go? There you are. Oh fuck, this my little reference phone is about to die. This is the reference I'm looking at. That's a coconut crab. It's one of the more famous pictures of a coconut crab. Basically the vibe whenever you see this picture is always, what in the fuck is that and why is it on the trash can? Because it looks like a big scary bug, which, I mean, crabs are just kind of big ocean bugs. Yeah, I'm trying to get, not this exact coloring because it's really complicated, but something close to it. I gotta, like, work toward it. Yeah, Legs killed Oda's parents, and ever since then he's decided that he is gonna be a vigilante against Legs by opposing Legs in any way possible. Carry on with this down here. Oh, the main body needs more like red in it, so this area needs to be red. Reminds me of a popular post going around like Art Tumblr a while ago that was like about someone who's like a friend of the OP, hated drawing hands so much but they wanted to make a comic, so they decided that in the universe of their comic it's considered extremely rude to show your hands in public. So everyone's always wearing mittens or something so that you can't even see the definition of their hands. Which, like, you should definitely, like, practice things you're not good at to get better at them, but also I admire the sheer ridiculousness of fucking... Wait, aren't the undersides of crabs usually lighter? I don't know, I'll figure it out. I don't know where I'm gonna find the underside of a coconut crab. There's always just people holding up the backs of them and going, look how big this fucker is. Right? They just decided in the world building of that universe that it's considered extremely rude to show your hands, and the hands are considered a very private part of the body that you don't show to other people. So that they didn't have to draw hands as often. They only had to draw hands when the character was like completely alone or something. The ends of the legs are tucked under, just doing a little sit. I never figured out what's going on under here. I'm just gonna have to like draw a little like. I don't want to worry about it. It's fine. Let's get a bit on there. You know when you forget about a migraine for a second and decides to remember you by like stabbing you in the left hemisphere? Do stretches. Stretch is good for you. Drink a water. Eat a candy because the sugar helps you brain. I got a bunch of Andes mints on a discount Valentine's chocolate sale. Best day of the year after Halloween. Discount Valentine's chocolate sale, because Valentine's is the good chocolate. Yes, now I have so many of these little... Hold on a second. I have to do this. It's like a compulsion. Every time I eat an Andes, I have to fold the wrapper into an origami butterfly. I have some extra wrappers that I haven't folded. But I feel like an obligation to fold each one of them. There we go. Add that to the pile. And continue. Okay, they have a bunch of darker colors on the top there. Doesn't have to be perfect, I just want it to look like a coconut crab. And also I'm gonna have to darken up some of the browns because I want it to look coconutty. Oh, I'm so glad I finally get to use a different color than the usual fruit colors. They're using the same colors for this whole set. They're all getting super worn down. I mean, I think the oranges, I'm gonna start with an orange. In this area. Oh damn, I'm supposed to plug that in, heck. Jeez. We have 2 USB ports on this freaking laptop. There we go. Don't lose that. Okay. This color of Harrison, put the coconut on it, doesn't blend in too much. Sure. Don't break. A little bit more. whole bag of these little tamarind candies, and I love them so much. I don't know what it says. I don't know what country this is from. Thailand, yeah, okay. Apparently they like tamarind flavor in Thailand. That bigger. Huh? Oh, with the Andes mints? I have a lot of little origami butterflies. They're my favorite. That particular fold of butterfly is like my favorite one. It's really easy, and in my opinion, it looks the best. So I'll get like origami packs just to fold every little paper into a butterfly. And now I just have like a big old huge candy display bowl full of origami butterflies. And I have a smaller container specifically full of ones made out of candy wrapper foil. Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, I may want to, like, I don't know what to do with all of my goddamn origami butterflies. I make little, all I have to do is if you have little clamps and the right type of glue and some, like, cord, you can, make really cute little decorative strings of origami butterflies. I have a few around my room. I'm thinking maybe I should just make more of those and sell them on Etsy, or I could sell origami butterflies in bulk to people who want to use them for their own projects. It's like, I just have a whole goddamn bunch of them. There. I don't really like how tomato turned out, but I'm hoping I can sort of fix it up. Oh, forgot about that one.
Check me out, y'all.
I love working with browns. It's an underrated color set. People are always like, yeah, poop color, and I'm always like, shut the entire fuck up. It's the color of good rich garden soil and really pretty animals, and also a lot of people, so associating the color brown and all its variants only with bad things is kind of fucked up. Also, I am into steampunk, so we love our sepia tones and our browns and beautiful, rich, golden tones.
Check me out, y'all.
I think someone must have like punted this black pencil into a brick wall while wearing steel-toed boots or something, because the color, like the graphite or whatever they use in there, it's all broken up. Because every time I sharpen it, another piece just snaps off. That's why it's so short. I'm worried about sharpening it properly because it just keeps snapping off. And it's just this one out of the whole set. Like it's whatever place they make these at. I should have looked that up. Whatever place they make these at. Someone decided, no, fuck this particular black pencil. I am going to punch it with my steel-toed boots into a brick wall. To pulverize the color inside. So whatever poor sap gets this set, whenever they try to sharpen it, it won't work anymore. Their parents were killed by a black paper Castile pencil. Decided to take vengeance by breaking the hell out of the lead inside every Faber Castile black pencil. Ow, ow.
せたいシーズンオフの海の笑い風凍るわ凍え
some sea
When I
shanties.
was just a little lad, or so me mammy told me, away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. That if I didn't kiss the girls, my lips would grow all moldy. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Away, ho, haul away, we'll haul away together. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Away, ho, haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. I used to have an Irish girl, but she got fat and lazy. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. But now I've got a Bristol girl, and she just drives me crazy. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Away, ho, haul away, we'll haul away together. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Away, ho, haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Old Louis was the king of France before the revolution.
Thank you.
Away,
Drawing
away, we'll haul
mermaids
away,
based on
Joe.
fruits.
But then he
This one's
got
a
his
coconut
head chopped off and he
crab.
spoiled his constitution.
So it's more like a crab tar, I guess, but yeah.
Away,
I got tired of just drawing normal mermaids, so we started to branch out into different species.
away,
Ho, haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Away, haul away, we'll haul
I'm having fun with this one because it's different colors than all the other ones I had.
You can't tire bowling.
away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
You can't even stand up straight when the packages are rolling.
Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Away!
Ho, haul away, we'll haul away together. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Away!
Ho, haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Well, now can't you see the black clouds are gathering? Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Well, now can't you see the storm clouds are rising? Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Away,
Yeah, for the crabs, I have another.
together. Away, haul away, we'll
I got an apricot hermit crab who is sideways at the moment.
haul away, we'll haul for better.
A yeti crab based on a kiwi because kiwis are hairy. Is a hairy yeti crab. Ooh woo. But like, I'm so sorry. And earlier in here I have just dab it out when you gotta sneeze. Just dab it out. Earlier in here I have a raspberry hermit crab with the mouth. I decided to give them all that mouth because that's how crabs look. They got the little bits going on. So every time I draw one of these crab tars, they're gonna have a little ooh face.
Plains of Mexico. She's a fast clipper.
You can do it, Pat. I believe in you. Also, I get to save myself some time drawing all these details. Don't worry about the face too much. Don't even give her a nose. It's a crab. Just give her a little.
Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. Santiana fought for gold. Away, Santiana. Around Cape Horn through the ice and snow.
You're like, I will not get carried away with the white accents. Me with my gel pen, like, oh yeah, don't stop me now because I'm having a good time. I tried to find that song and play it if I was listening to sea shanties.
On the field of Molly Del Rey. Away, Santiana. Well, both his legs got blown away along the plains of Mexico. Well, heave her up and away we'll go. Away, Santiana. Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. It was
Orders
a
are the
fist,
segments.
the bitter strife. Away,
It doesn't have to be realistic, I say. It's a fictional creature. You could do whatever you want, I say, and I try to make it more realistic. Though adding realism to fictional creatures can be really fun. But I think one of my least favorite forms of that is when I see centaurs drawn with like a realistically sized human torso, and then because they're so small compared to the rest of the horse, so it looks really funnily proportioned. I prefer either tiny horses or just really huge human torsos on the centaurs. Balance all the proportions.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of that ship was the Billy T.
It's the famous one.
Hard about it down. Blow me, bully boys, blow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived down below. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing
I've seen
is
people
done,
talk about how this song is problematic before, like you shouldn't like it, but also those people never bring up the problematic nature of whaling itself. It's like they're trying to reach for anything, but they don't actually do the research into how bad whaling was for the ecosystem of the ocean. Nevertheless, this song is a bop.
As far as I've heard, the fight's still on. The line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The Wellerman makes his irregular calls to encourage the captain, crew and all. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Heave her ho, boys, let her go, boys. Swing her head round into the
hello. Oh, God. Hi, I'm drawing a crab mermaid. What's up, y'all? Before this, I was drawing a guava mermaid. I'm drawing fruit mermaids. It's kind of what's happening tonight.
What can we boys for
Yeah, I was lurking on DC Stream before I had to close the browser so that my laptop wouldn't explode from having too many things open at once. Gotta darken up some of these lines. Thank you. I'm having a good time with my little crabtar. Gotta darken up some lines now. Thank you. It's based off a coconut crab, because this fruit, this is the reference I'm using. If you haven't seen coconut crabs, they're really pretty, and they're also huge, and they kind of scare me. That's just how it is when you have a special interest in marine biology. Sometimes everything is terrifying, but also beautiful. And then you draw crab tar out of it. Here's the part where I try to darken up some lines that I accidentally muted by putting pencils over it, and then I accidentally mess up the lines by messing them up because my hands are shaky. My favorite part. Yeah, I had a lot of fun drawing this, thank you. This is one of my more favorite ones out of this set, I think. Heck yeah, there we go, me messing up the lines. Yeah, camel spiders are pretty large and kind of scary, but I still think my friend's tiny chihuahua could possibly take one in a fight, because that thing will fight anything. I know a guy who was in like the Marines and got sent to Afghanistan or something. I don't know, one of those desert countries where they have, yeah, it was Afghanistan, where they have camel spiders, and the camel spiders will try to chase you to hide in your shade because it's hot out. And apparently it is a terrifying experience, which I can definitely imagine. Don't see why it wouldn't be a terrifying experience. I love spiders, but camel spiders and that kind of thing, I will respect them from a distance. I will avoid them respectfully. It's like, hey, stay still. Bro, it's hot out here. Can you just stay still for a minute? God, why does the shade always run away? Now here they are kind of aggressive, so like, It's like if an orb weaver was significantly larger and could just bully it around.
General Taylor gained the day. Walk him along.
Because, like, that's kind of an attack stance for spiders when they put their first two legs up. It's like, I'm gonna get you. So just seeing it. I hope I never meet a camel spider. Like, I think between, like, camel spiders and those big ol' centipedes we have out here where I live, in the southern United States, where it's also kind of a desert area, so we got some fun bugs. Yeah, I think I'm more afraid of a camel spider, even though I've never encountered one. Even though, like, oh my god, have y'all seen that episode of Brave Wilderness where Coyote Peterson let himself get bitten by a giant centipede? Like, as long as you stay away from centipedes, they generally won't bother you, despite being pretty territorial. But like the way it gathered the skin up into its mouth before biting. Well, I don't like centipedes, they can stay away, unless they're house centipedes, in which case they're my pals. House centipedes are small. They eat all the bugs I don't like.
Walk him along, John, carry him along to me way, hey, Stormy. Carry him to
Oh yeah, there are definitely like scorpions around where we live. Most of them are tiny, but the thing is like a lot of the tiniest scorpions are real venomous, because I guess they're making up for being teeny bitty, by murdering anything that dares to step on them. But some of them are really pretty, and they're like they glow in UV light and stuff like that. I've seen some like insect exhibits and arachnid exhibits and that kind of thing, where they show you the UV glowing scorpions, and they're so pretty. As long as they stay in their little terrariums, I'm okay. Oh heck, I forgot to color. I forgot to. Okay, hold on. And I think like well, oh yeah, I got to hold a giant millipede one time, because I'm not afraid of millipedes because they're friends. If you ever get to hold a giant millipede, I definitely recommend it, because the feeling of all their tiny little bitty legs scuttling around is just delightful.
Walk him along, John, carry him along. Well, General Taylor's dead and gone.
The coconut fuzz. Cute little coconut bra. Yeah, generally I'm fascinated and terrified by all sorts of critters. And crabs are basically just sea spiders, so and there are in fact spider crabs. Which are crabs that look even more like spiders. Nature is fascinating. And full of horrors. Ooh. I don't know where you live where they just have camel spiders, but I don't want to go there. Because I'm like really unobservant. I've been like covered in ants before because I was just chilling out talking to my neighbors and accidentally got covered in ants. You know, that kind of thing where I don't even realize they're on me. I got bitten by so many ants that day. Oh yeah. Okay, so good. You weren't living there. I'm glad you were not living there. Yeah, this is the Longest Johns. They're just sort of known for doing sea shanties. They probably had something to do with Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Now, why does anyone live in Arizona? Hell State. It's too hot. Well, they do have saguaro cactuses, which are really cool. And also really creepy looking. It's like a pretty fantastic state tree to have. And I live right next to them in New Mexico, so it's not that far away, but still, Arizona is hell. Where does anyone live there? Potato Land! Sorry, that's literally the only thing I know about Idaho. Idaho, that's the only thing I know about Idaho is potato. I have a friend who lives in Wisconsin, and all I know about Wisconsin is, cheese. Cheese. According to her, they have an entire aisle, like an entire grocery store aisle at the Kroger she works at, dedicated to cheese. Cougars and bears and rattlesnakes and hobo spiders. Oh my! Hobo spiders are the ones with the big fangs, huh? They got the real big fangs, right? I'm pretty sure that's hobo spiders, unless I'm... Yeah, I think that's hobo spiders, right? They got the huge fangs and they look really stupid. Like, they look kind of dumb. It's like they look like their face was designed by like a 5-year-old. Oh yeah. Generally certain spiders, you just don't want to bother them. You just want to leave them alone. One time I had an orb weaver set up right outside my window where I keep a bunch of plants. And I kept trying to get a picture of it. And like, I kept trying to get a picture of it because I wanted to show my friend. But I was afraid to put my hand too close to it because they're really aggressive orb weavers, but they're beautiful. Oh man, yeah. Ooh, that flesh-eating stuff. Oh no. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think we have a lot of super venomous spiders around here that I know of, or at least none that I've had to deal with. Of course, you know, the brown recluses are everywhere. We do have quite a lot of black widows, but black widows aren't super aggressive. It's sort of like they're pretty chill as long as you don't scare them so bad that they feel the need to bite you. And we have a ton of wolf spiders, which look scary, but they're pretty much just harmless. They're quite large, and they have huge pedipalps. One time I saw a wolf spider on my wall with such huge pedipalps, the little mouth arms that it uses to eat with. That's what it's called, right? Yeah, pedipalps. I thought that it had 10 legs. I thought it was some kind of mutant spider with 10 legs because its pedipalps were so huge. I'm so sorry if there's anyone in chat who does not like spiders.
Sometimes we're catching whales, my lads.
Ah.
Sometimes we're catching none.
They're also, there's another spider that looks really stupid, but like in a scare. Ogre face spiders, I think they're called. I hate looking at them. I hate looking at ogre face spiders. I've only ever seen them online. But, wow. A hognose snake! Oh, they're cute. Oh, they're cute. I think snakes are cute. Some of them definitely look scary. But, yeah, it's one of those things like, I know it's a common fears of spiders and insects and stuff like that. And I used to be super scared of them myself. But then sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, insects and bugs and spiders and scary things, and I'd forget that other people, like, really don't like that stuff, and then I feel bad, because I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Ah. Mimicry in animals is crazy. It's like, how do they know to look like other animals to be scary? How do they know, you know? Oh, I forgot to put a little Siggy on this. Put a little Siggy over here. Come on. I think I blow my nose. Yeah, if I saw that on my leg, no matter what it was, I'd be like, what the fuck? And you just start slapping and get scared. Probably accidentally get bit on the hand because I slapped it. Put it up here. You can do it, White Gel Pen. I believe in you.
Bully boys of Liverpool, I'll have you to beware. When you sail in them packet ships, no dungaree jumpers wear. But have a good monkey jacket.
A bug I wish I saw more of was, oh, good. That's good that it was a couple feet away. A lot of times they don't even notice certain insects or spiders until they've accidentally climbed onto me because they're just, you know, dumb little insects, dumb little arthropods, and they don't know what they're doing. Until, like, the thing they've climbed on starts hitting them.
They pawned their gear in Liverpool and sailed as they did stand. But there blows some cold nor'west.
One time when I was a little kid, I remember this because it was very funny. Well, you know, after it was a very funny situation, but like I still often go to fishing recreation areas with my parents, and my mom was always terrified that I was gonna get bitten by a rattlesnake and die because we got rattlers around here. Yeah. I think I want to work on one more mermaid. I usually sign off like 20 minutes ago, but I'm having a nice time working on merms tonight. What's next? Okay, tomato. I did another. Trying to figure out exactly which reds to use. But yeah, I was walking along with my mom and one of the friends of the family who was with us, and my mom had this thing. Yeah, sorry. Well, funny. I'll get to it. Sorry, I get distracted a lot. Okay, I got purple reds in here. I need to go for like orange reds for a tomato, I guess. I could do a yellow tomato. Okay, I gotta chill out. While I'm trying to remember what the hell I'm doing, I'll just sort of flip through my other merms so you can see them all. Mom always had this sort of like a drill. She would go, Rattler, and then I would have to pause and just stop moving because, you know, you just don't want to like step on the rattler and you don't want it to like, you know, notice it or something. And then, you know, I would stop and freeze whatever I was doing, 1 foot in the air, and she would go, okay, you're safe. And I'd be like, was there even a rattler? And Mom would be like, no, but I gotta keep you on your feet. And I was always like, Mom. But like, there was one time when we were walking along a path and my rattler training paid off. I was walking in front because I was looking for fun rocks on the ground, and I'd like to walk fast in front of my mom and the other slower adults, and I was walking along looking at rocks, so I was looking down at my feet. I looked up for a second while walking to make sure, look where the path was going. Looked back down, and there was just like both sides of the. I'm not used to working with cameras. Both sides of the little trail we were walking on, just a tiny little footpath with like desert on either side, and then from one, like a bit of grass on one side to a shrub on the other side, there was just like a length of snake in the middle that was slowly moving to the side. And so I paused, 1 foot above the rattler, me being like 7 or 8 or something, just stood there. And my mom, who was behind me, was like, "What is it?" And I was like, "Rattler," to quiet. And I carefully put my foot back down. And the friend of the Vic family, I think it was old Miss Victoria, yeah, old Auntie Victoria, even though she wasn't an aunt, you know how it goes. She heard me say Rattler, looked around to see the snake, and went, "Ah!" And she literally just like this high-pitched scream, and she ran away with her arms up in the air, back down the path, and I cracked the fuck up. And Mom got mad at me because I was laughing at her friend for getting scared of a snake. But it was like cartoonish. Because me, the little 7-year-old, I managed to, get like Rattler training by being like Rattler, and staying completely still and stepping back. Meanwhile, the adult behind us went running away back down the path. She like went all the way to the end of the path. Mom had to catch her and be like, "It's okay, it's okay." Oh, that was funny. Yeah, it was the one time I almost stepped on a rattlesnake. I just watched it go away into the bush, and saw this little rattle going by, going. And I thought it was kind of cool, because, it's kind of cool to be like, "Oh, wow, I almost stepped on a rattlesnake, but then I didn't." Yeah. And I remember that after all these years, but I still can't remember my neighbors' names. Anyway, I'm gonna try to color a tomato jellyfish. Let's see, how many more do I have? A tomato, I have passion fruit, I have apricot, plum, kiwi 2, and guarana. Okay.
From Mushins to Silly is 35 leagues. So let every man toss off a full bumper and let every man drink
Back
off
to
a full
coloring.
glass. We'll drink and be
I
merry.
was using the bad pen on this, that's why I don't like how those lines turned out.
Singing, and I got health to each true-hearted lass. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors. We'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt seas until we strike soundings in the Channel of Old England. From Mushins to Silly is 35 leagues.
Oh yeah, I did these lines all jank.
Ha! Thought I heard the captain say, "Hey, pay me my money down. Tomorrow is our sailing day. Pay me my money down." Well, pay me, pay me, pay me my money down. Pay me or go
I look
to
up
jail.
tomatoes.
Pay me my money down.
I guess I could just wing it because it's a tomato. They're kind of yellowy orange on the inside,
The
but
captain knocked me with a spar. Pay me my money down. Well, pay me, pay me, pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Well, I wish I was a rich man's son. Pay me my money down.
a thing I really hate these days is
Pay me my money down. Well,
sites making scroll bars as tiny as possible so you can't freaking see them.
pay me or go to jail. Pay me
Come on.
money down. Well, I wish I was Mr. Gates. Pay me my money down. They'd bring my money down in crates. Pay me my money down. Well, pay me.
So, tomatoes can also get a little bit of green in them, huh? But I think I've used a lot of red, yellow, green.
Pay me my money down. Well, 40 nights at sea. Pay me my money down. The captain bled every last dollar out of me. Pay me my
And I got the, like, the little yellowish white seeds.
Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to
Posting pictures of someone with a weird garden problem where their tomatoes
Pay me
crack and leave like these white scars across them. They look kind of cool. Especially if you like a green tomato, but I want it to be more iconic.
Sunset, an evening star, and one clear call for me. And may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. When I put out to sea. When I put out to sea, and may there be no moaning of the bar. When I put
Figure that out.
to sea,
Let's start with a bright
but
red.
such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and foam, that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home, turns again home, turns again home, that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again
Some
home.
build up colors again.
Twilight, an evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. When I embark. When I embark, and may
I don't have a bot, but maybe someday if I set up a bot, I'll do like funny lurk commands.
when I embark, for though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood
I could probably kind of have fun with a bot, but I'm too lazy to set one up.
hope to see my pilot
I hear other people complaining about him all the time, and I'm like, oh, that sounds hard.
I have crossed the bar. When I have crossed the bar. When I have crossed the bar, I hope to see my pilot face to face. When I have crossed the bar. When I have crossed the bar, when I have crossed the bar, I hope to see my pilot face to face. When I have crossed the bar.
Aw. I hope you get to hang out with your drinking buddy again. And I hope he gets his doctorate, and on days when he's not doing whatever, like, I know you don't have to be a doctor for a doctorate, you could have different types of jobs with a doctorate, but I hope one day when you're both off of work, you could both hang out and get responsibly drunk together. Yeah, a lot of sea shanties and drinking songs can be sort of interchangeable. So a lot of sailors would be drinking when they sang them.
There's tinkers and tailors and soldiers and all.
And they have similar, like, vibes.
They all ship for sailors on board the Black Ball. Give me some time to blow the man down.
Maybe you could find each other again on the internet and have a use Discord or Zoom or something.
Assisted along by the toe of a boot.
To have a long distance hangout.
To blow the man down. Blow the man down, bullies, blow the man down.
Ah, okay.
Hey, blow the man down. Blow him right back into
Some variety of law.
town. Give me some time to blow the man down. It's starboard and larboard, on deck they will sprawl. Way, hey, blow the man down. For kicking Jack Williams
fuzzy here.
commands the black ball.
Huh.
Give me some time to blow the man down. Lay off now, you lubbers, lay off now, I say. Way, hey, blow the man down. On none of your dodges on my
I don't
ship
know what kind of jobs you get with doctors in political philosophy, but hopefully something worth fucking tuition. That sounds like an expensive one.
Blow him right back into Liverpool town. Give me some time to blow the man down. So I'll give you fair warning before we belay. Way, hey, blow the man down. Don't ever take heed of what shanty men say. Give me
God dang, that's a bunch of degrees.
blow the man down. Blow the man down, bullies, blow the man down.
I don't even have a degree because college is expensive.
Blow him right back into Liverpool town.
That's okay, you don't need a degree to be sick all the time. Get SSD, you just need to be sick all the time.
Well, I wish I was in Mobile Bay.
Yeah, I hope it's worth all the learning he's doing and all the tuition payments and all the hard nights studying, I'm sure. I hope every once in a while he gets to hang out and sing old-fashioned drinking songs or something. Yeah, you gotta do a lot of studying for law and politics. Unless there are certain people who just kind of have the position handed to them, but...
With a JM White, she's a brand new boat. Stern to stern, she's
Sounds
mighty
prestigious,
fine.
though.
Can beat any boat on the New Orleans line, stowing sugar in the hole below. Ha! Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below. Well, the engineer shouts through his trumpet. Tell the maid we got bad news. Can get no steam for the fire in the flue. Stowing sugar
I don't think I know that Taylor Swift song.
Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in
Oh yeah, there's some really fun, like, Irish songs out there. I like how a lot of classic Irish music tells a story.
stowing sugar in the hole below.
No, it's like
Captain's on the
classic bard kind of stuff, where it tells a whole ass story.
His old neck. He shouts out,
That's some kind of narrative.
lad, stowing sugar in the hole below. Ha! Hey ho, below, below, stowing
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that Taylor Swift. I don't listen to a lot of her stuff unless it just pops up on the radio. Some of her songs are kind of catchy.
stowing sugar in the hole below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole
Bit of darker red in here.
below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below.
Now, there's this, I constantly get nostalgic for something that I've only not been able to do for a year. But I volunteer at a living history museum for their festivals called Las Golondrinas, El Rancho de las Golondrinas, Ranch of the Swallows. And like the tempo of the, I think I know what you mean, but I also can't remember the word. But like during the Ren Fair, there's always this performer who shows up. Her name is the Moor of Dundee. And I think I still have her thing over here. Yeah, I still have it. Yeah, Nzinga, the Moor of Dundee. Laysa Messiah, PhD. I wasn't holding it right. Yeah, she does really cool stuff. She does customized music. She has CDs out, and she sings shanties, drinking songs, old bard songs, old stories, stuff like that. And she'll show up at the Ren Fair with her lute in old school like troubadour gear. And she'll sing songs and get requests and have everyone singing along. It's really great. Look her up. She's great. Get her albums. Yeah, we haven't been able to have the Ren Fair last year due to the great plague that has befallen us. I don't know if we'll be able to have any of our festivals this year, depending on how things go. Right? Yeah, she has a really cool historical outfit, and she has her whole, like, persona, and every time someone gives her a tip, she'll put it in her jar and say, "Beer money!" and everyone will cheer. Just delightful. I always look forward to seeing her and, like, just the Irish step dancers and the belly dancing troupe and just the whole gang at the Ren Fair every year. And also, I love all of our other festivals.
And we'll all go together to pull Wild Mountain Time.
I'm kind of accidentally making this look like a bell pepper, huh? Whoops. It's a tomato. It's just one of those real big, real curvy tomatoes. It's like a beefsteak or something. I don't know. Just a real big old tomato. Maybe I should just cross out tomato and write bell pepper. Don't forget to stretch every once in a while, everyone, while you're at your computers. Do some leg lifts, stretch your neck out, stretch your hands. Drink your tea that you let go cold 2 hours ago.
And now the shipping forecast, issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1700 hours today.
It's barely starting to
North
be
at 0,
spring, and my allergies
south
are
at
already
0,
like
40s, Cromarty, northwesterly 5 to
just
7,
nasty.
occasionally gale 8, backing southwesterly and decreasing 3 for a time. Rain later, moderate, becoming good. Humber, Shannon, northeasterly 6, good, growing steadily, becoming 7. Happy birthday. Tyne, Thames, Forth, little bit, muchly, 32 long, size 8.
Yeah,
Definitely
you go
smart
on,
later.
go get yourself some rest.
Dogger, Fisher, Dover.
I gotta
I'd
go to
hardly know.
bed after whenever I stop
Viking,
doing this.
arriving soon.
I'm just kind of
Leaving
on a
later
roll,
with your
and I've been
wife.
pretty sad today, so I want to keep
Fair
doing
Isle,
this.
Faroes, Pyramid, Sphinx.
So I will have done
Biscay,
something.
Fastnet, dial-up, broadband.
I don't know if I'll be able to
Lundy,
get through
Mardy,
all of
Macready,
these tomorrow, but I may
Plymouth,
do some off stream.
Watch out for that.
Thank you very much. I'm having
Portland,
a good time.
Fitzroy, moving forward.
I'm
22
gonna
yards.
sign off whenever I finish this
Touchdown.
one. You go
Irish
get a
Sea,
rest,
Irish
go
stew,
refill the
Baileys,
energy
Hebrides,
meter,
Rockall,
and I hope
sole,
you get to eat
one
something
fish,
nice
2 fish, red fish, blue fish.
and have a tasty drink.
Trafalgar, rectangular.
And be comfy
Becoming
and
square.
warm.
And finally, Longest Johns. Starting strong, 7 or 8, becoming not so poor, then good. That was the shipping forecast for 1700 hours, Wednesday, 18th of August.
Tamarind candy.
Cry, baby, cry.
I did the fucking.
Over my garden, you know, you grow your own. Lay, lady, lay under my bed, you know, I'll grow my own.
think this color is gonna help it get more tomatoey. Has that gross texture tomatoes have. The only tomatoes I like eating that aren't like processed into marinara sauce are really small cherry tomatoes. The bigger ones are just... I really don't like the contrast of like the sort of crunchy crisp vegetable next to the gooey, liquidy insides. I can't remember the comedian who said it, maybe it was Jim Gaffigan or something like that, but very on the money when they said that the inside of a tomato looks like it's still in its larval stage. And I kind of messed up by not making the inside of this segmented, but oh well. Maybe I can still do that actually, hold on. Try to fix that a little.
Crawl, baby, crawl. You fall on your knees and all. I'll grow my own.
Turns out looking bad, then oh well. At least I tried.
Don't let him know. Don't let it show. You reap what you sow. Take this black rose, my black rose.
That sort of worked.
There you saw a dirty one, thought you caught a curly one, devil's flesh and bones. Catch 'em if you can. And Big Boy Blue, he ran away, find him on a brighter day, leave it on the line, and then he'll understand. When all is left to you, no one coming through. Oh, what's a girl to do? Ooh, if the will to melt, a sudden change of plan, you catch 'em if you can. Feel your heart freeze over. Feel your cold steel soldier. Leave him out to dry. And all you take, all you can fit in your arms when you walk out the door. You didn't even see it coming. You know you should have seen it coming. You might have even seen it coming. You coulda, woulda seen it all. Coulda, woulda had it all.
Sorry.
Father, oh Father, your sons and your daughters will learn how to stand on their own. Oh, when a slam on the left and a kick to the right's all they know. Daily or daily, but then again, maybe you'll learn how to love what you have. Oh, if you find there is more to
Sally, what do you want? Huh? Do you gotta go out?
give on the ground.
What is it, doggo?
Didn't even see it coming. You know you should have seen it coming. You might have even seen it coming. You
Hold on, baby, okay?
have seen it all. Could and would and should and
No belly rubs? Okay.
so shoulder grow older, don't ever grow colder, and time will bring love to your side. Oh, if you choose to refuse to sit tight while she passes you by. And maybe, just maybe, she'll take it all safely. No more of your running around. And over by nightfall, you danced in the suit on the ground.
Sally! What's your little face? What are you doing, huh? Why are you a bad dog all of the time? Down, down. Down. Stay. Let my dog out real quick. Sally!
Locke said the nightmare's so pretty, but I already
God, I didn't even realize it was sitting kind of weird. I don't know how people can do like long streams, you know, where they go on for like,
hands on a shoulder.
oh, the color I want to use. That's the pen. Where people go on for like a solid like 8 hours or something like that. Or even like 4 hours or something. It's like, geez. I can barely go for a minute without having to straighten up. Do some leg lifts under the table or something. I'm too fidgety.
Locke said the nightmare's so pretty, but I already have a house with a top hat and coat. Hands on a shoulder, you never did have feelings to know. You best get along.
Shiny tomato. Oh, heck, I haven't shaded yet.
from boys who always get away. Girl, you better run away from boys who always steal away. Girl, you never run away from boys who always get away. Girl, you better run away from boys who always steal away. Good luck said the nightmare's so pretty, but I already have a house with the top hat and coat rag. Hands on his shoulder, you never did have feelings, did you? And oh, you best get along. I said, oh, you'd best get along. Ooh, and oh, you'd best get along. Crawling flat on broken glass to you, to you, to you. Scratch it up and turn, catch a fire and burn for you, for you, for you. Couldn't love you more, see your face for sure. I do, I do, I do. Try to behave, but it's all the same to you, to you, to you. Cinnamon bone, cinnamon bone. Pin a name on the wall and take your time. Waste your time on me. Hear the greater call come to break and fall on you, on you, on you. Make a twisted face, walk a light away for you, for you, for you. Get a loaded gun, take a hit and run from you, from you, from you. Find another sun, one day be done with you, with you, with you. Cinnamon bone, cinnamon bone. Pin a name on the wall and take your time. Waste your time on cinnamon bone, cinnamon bone. Lovely days have come and gone, so take your time. Waste your time on me. Crawling flat on broken glass to you, to you, to you, for you.
More red in this.
Seek you, see through, calling for thee.
It's almost two.
You're
Whoops.
wanted now, go take a bow. Your stepping stone fell Drop
Put in
down,
this.
writhing for thee, singing, hear me out. Oh, you sinners, cry aloud and bless the soul you sing. White bloom, high
It's
to
getting tired.
lying for thee. Where did you go? What did you know? Such easy fears and curly toes. Oh, heartbeat, heart feet, trying for thee. Singing, hear me out. Oh, you sinners, cry aloud and bless the soul you saved. Will you stay? Will you stay? Will you go? Will you stay?
I
Will
think
you
it's
stay,
alright.
stay, stay? Will
Keep.
you go?
I'm doing a very good job remembering to write the year. Okay, I gotta make myself sign off before I keep fiddling with this. I'll be up all night. In a couple days, I gotta wake up real goddamn early because my dad wants to go to a lake really early and bring one of my friends along. I don't even fish, but well, unless it's, we haven't been fly fishing in a long time, but if we went fly fishing, I would jump on again. Get myself a license and all that. But we've just been angling for a while, so I'm not interested. But I pick up trash around the recreation areas because the litter pisses me off and I want it to go away, so I have nothing else to do. Oh, I love this song. Is anyone on right now? Tart is on. Is she doing another one of those test streams, or like, can I go bother? Oh, okay, Tart is playing ESO. Oh, Dama is playing 3 and 3 again. I don't know if anyone's still out there, but let's go bother my pal Venomous Tart. If I could type, that would be excellent. Should have worn my gloves. While that's, you know, just while that's loading up, let me just. Get darker around the knuckles. Yeah, if anyone's still out there, I'm gonna send you to a pal of mine who is playing Elder Scrolls Online, which is a game I would like to get back into. What did I do? What did I do? Heckin'. Okay, there we go. Okay, getting ready to raid. have to add a little bit more orange to the face, but let me send y'all off. Anyone who is still out there.